What up, fam? Today's Saturday. I'm on my long run, doing 90 minutes to an hour and 45. Today we're going to talk about what you can do at home during your weekly long run to get the most bang for your buck. Stay tuned for this. Check it. I'm going to take you guys in the scenic route. Hopefully we can get to Ogden Road. Heading up there, fam. It's about 1,100 feet of climb. I'm averaging, I think, 638 per mile right now, my heart rate, which is the right zone. We'll talk about that in a bit. I want you guys to comment down below, who's ever in high school still, right now, watching this video. Do you consider yourself a miler? I would say most people do when they're in high school, if you're a distance runner. When I was in high school, I definitely considered myself a miler. One thing that high school runners are lacking majority of the time is the weekly long run, or maybe you're doing it, or maybe you're doing it wrong, or maybe there's a better way of doing it. Now, I'm not saying that my way is the number one way, and the only way you should do it, but it's definitely key that I've noticed over the years that lead to my drop in times and making me a better overall runner, especially going from high school to college. It wasn't until I went from high school to college I started running my long runs longer and more efficient, and my time started dropping. Now, even if you're just a beginner, this applies to you too. The active distance running takes a lot of resistance to muscular fatigue, aerobic activity, strengthening and increasing those aerobic enzymes, red blood cells, etc., to be able to handle the load. Your weekly long run is a staple in many plans, I would say, from 1,500 meters and up. You need it. It's pretty much key. If you look at the law of specificity for each event, check out my How to Run a Faster Mile video. I talk about that briefly. For each event, there's a certain percentage of that event that is aerobic and anaerobic. And so, the more aerobic the event is, the more bang for your buck you'll benefit from doing a weekly long run. What is the weekly long run? Guys, I'm running uphill, like straight uphill. So I'm breathing hard. Like, I'll show you in a sec. But the weekly long run is about 25 to 33% of your total mileage, depending on what you're training for. All right, here's the hill, guys. Straight uphill. It's a beautiful day. Be live. 25 to 33% of your total weekly mileage. Usually done on the weekend as your third quote-unquote primary workout of the week, Saturday or Sunday. And the goal of the long run, in a nutshell, is to fatigue your slow twitch type 1 muscle fibers to recruit the type 2B muscle fibers to behave more like type 2A muscle fibers. Now, type 2B muscle fibers are like your quick twitch, glycotic, white tissue, chicken breast, power muscle fiber. What happens is that when you fatigue the type 1 muscle fibers, your body's like, hell now. You start recruiting more type 2 muscle fibers to behave more like type 1. So that's key. So that usually, once you get your mileage up, I would say that happens, at least for me, around the hour and 20 minute mark. Before you get into that zone where your legs feel tired, but you're still running. That's when you know that you're probably recruiting more type 2B fibers. Now, running at this pace, running uphill, you're always gonna be recruiting some number of type 2 fibers. But the number of recruitment goes up higher when you fatigue yourself, when you run fast, and when you run uphill, which is what we're doing right now. You're also increasing the number and size of mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. You have better cellular respiration, makes you more efficient at aerobic events. Your weekly long run should be built up to about 90 minutes per week, up to 2 hours, 2.5 hours when you get up to the marathon. But if you're in high school, I would still max out at 90 minutes, maybe 95 per week. So let's say we reset the season, you took your time off, 3 weeks, no weekly long run, now you do an hour in the weekend. For the third week, you can add and jump up to 90 with nothing at the end, which we'll talk about that in a sec, which is key in maximizing muscle fiber recruitment patterns for more bang for your buck in the long run. So once you hit, 3 weeks of an hour run on Saturday or Sunday, 3 weeks, a 90-minute run Saturday or Sunday, then that 7th week, you can start incorporating either strides at the end or a light tempo at the end from 15 minutes to 20 minutes to help with that muscle fiber recruitment pattern, right? So majority of the run, you're fatiguing your type 1 muscle fibers. When you get to the end, your body's like, oh crap, I'm recruiting type 2. And then when you put that push at the end, you will fatigue even more and create more fiber recruitment pattern to also not only make you stronger in the long run, but mimic the end of a race, which is what you want. A big mistake that a lot of high schoolers make, and I made, even when I was like in 17-minute 5K shape, is that they run their long runs way too hard. Like 17 flat 5K shape, running 620s of only like an hour duration, which is a no-no. Remember, loss specificity. You're trying to achieve, maximize the specifics of that aerobic event. If you're in shape for that pace, great. But majority of the time, if you look at Coach Benson's book or different charts online like Jack Daniels, 622 pace when your 17-minute 5K pace is way too fast. That's probably more close to 75-80, when you should be around 65 to 70 of your effort during majority of your long run. So when you do it that way, to help lessen fatigue, especially, and if you're in high school in the 5K, what we stated prior, you're gonna last longer. Do you guys know what? When you race a 5K or a 2 mile, you start to get tired around like lap 6 or mile 2 or the last K. So that's the benefit of the long run. For me right now, I slowed down considerably because we're climbing like 1,100 feet within 15 minutes. But my heart rate around this time, for me, for the shape I'm in, which is about 15 flat 5K shape, is right around where it needs to be according to Coach Benson's book, ironically, and by my heart rate. So we're good where I'm at. You don't want too much of a stimulus because it'll take you longer to recover. You don't want to run your long runs too fast because you'll be recruiting more so type 2 muscle fibers in the beginning, unless a type 1, which is what you're primarily using for distance events. Time spent running is more important than the mileage that you're running. Everyone is different and people cover more ground dependent on how fit you are. Fatigue, glycogen depletion, which is also what you're trying to achieve when you're training for the marathon, right? It's another key thing with the long run. You don't want to go out and eat 20 pancakes right before you run. You could probably have a banana or something. But you need to practice on using fat as fuel by running slower. Makes your body more efficient at burning fat. If you do this right, your race times will drop significantly, changing nothing else if you're not used to long runs. So for me today, this is my first long run back since I took time off after my second 5K time trial, which was 5 days. Easy run for the rest of the week, up to 10 days. And today, 90 minutes to an hour 45. Probably should go a little less than 45, but whatever. It's too nice of a day. It's a little hot, but I'm gonna do 6 by 20 second striders with 40-second jog recovery between at the end, with about, I think, 11 or 12 minutes left to go. The last 5 minutes being somewhat of a cool down. Everyone's build is different when it comes to speed, right? Sprinters probably have higher type 2 muscle fibers versus distance runners. So if your body's built like a sprinter, genetically, you can't just go out and run 2 hours and expect to become Eliud Kipchoge. Your body will adapt somewhat, but the muscle makeup is what's key to your genetics of what you'll be good in. And you can find that out with a muscle biopsy. You can probably figure out what events you'll be good in too, without even playing the guessing game. Guys, this is really hard holding a camera in front of me running up this steep hill. All right, I'll show you guys in a sec. Woo! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Damn, it's a beautiful day. All right, we're almost at the top of the hill. The time spent on your feet as well can lead to central nervous system fatigue, the same way that if you were to do a really hard sprint workout if you're a sprinter. So you're training your body to contract more muscle fibers with each step over a longer period of time, which is why combination of feeling sore, muscular damage if you killed yourself during the long run, and weakness or lack of pop in your legs after a long run, that's why. But you shouldn't try to achieve those paces or even feel the need for a heart rate monitor. You should just go by feel and what feels easy to you for that long run to get the most bang for your buck. If you do it enough, your body will know. There are days where I'm running 8-10 minute pace per mile. There are days when I'm running 9:30 pace per mile. There are days when I'm running 7:45. But like today, I feel a little bit better. My heart rate's lower, which means I can probably go a tad bit faster, but still keep it within the range. So don't get discouraged if you're not hitting paces for that day. Trusting the process is key. Last time I took you guys out here, it was overcast, wet, and dreary. So now you guys can see everything. Check it. Beautiful. Check out the views. Got a car behind me, they're probably pissed. It's a beautiful day. What's back there? Why the long face, fam? We're here, fam. Ogden Road, Newburgh, Oregon. We're about 1,200 feet of elevation above sea level. It's a beautiful shaded, literally all downhill. One of these days, I'll do a downhill mile time trial on this road for you guys. Be in the trees, fam. It's beautiful. We on our way back, fam. On our way back to center of town. So like with the alternating of long run efforts week to week, like I said, you can do one long run where at the end you're doing strides, and the following week you do one long run where you're doing the end. A slight pickup, doesn't need to be too much, literally no faster than marathon pace, just to help those muscle fiber recruitment every other week. And you just alternate that between weeks. All right, fam, we are back at the center of town. We're at the high school track. I'm at an hour and 35-ish minutes right now. We got 6 by 20-second strides with 40-second jog recovery. I'll set the camera up for you guys, just do it on the track. It's starting to get pretty hot. It's the first run in heat in a while, so I'm really starting to feel it. Numero uno. Ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record. For the record. Number two. For the record. For the record. For the record. For the record. Number three coming up. These aren't hard. You're just trying to get more comfortable at running fast. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ball and age. I'm flipping the bars, I'm flipping the on record, off record. I still count wins. All right, 2 left. Record off record, I still want to act, not the ghost. Last one, fam. All right, fam, we done. Gonna head back home now, hydrate, maybe take a nap. Comment down below any questions you guys may have about getting the most out of your long run. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell when I post my next video. Catch you guys next time. Peace. Give me the max. I got Lab on my back. You ain't that, then it's raps. Whoa, 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 whoa. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you.